Imagine feeling remorse but only for yourself. Picture experiencing regret not because you've hurt someone but because their pain somehow inconveniences you. This is the puzzling reality of how narcissists experience remorse. And it's far more complex than most people realize. Welcome to a deep dive into one of psychology's most intriguing questions. Do narcissists feel remorse? The answer will challenge everything you thought you knew about guilt, empathy, and human connection. Before we unravel this psychological mystery, we need to understand what genuine remorse actually looks like in most people. True remorse is an emotional response that combines recognition of wrongdoing, genuine empathy for those we've hurt, and a sincere desire to make amends. It's a complex emotion that serves as a moral compass, helping us navigate our relationships and grow as individuals. But for someone with narcissistic personality disorder, this emotional landscape looks radically different. Their experience of remorse is like looking at a familiar painting through a warped mirror. All the elements are there, but they're distorted in ways that fundamentally change their meaning. Let's break down the layers of narcissistic remorse, starting with its most distinctive characteristic: self-orientation. When a narcissist experiences something that looks like remorse, it's usually centered entirely around their own experience. They're not mourning the pain they've caused others. They're mourning the consequences they face. Think of it this way. A typical person might feel remorse after hurting a friend because they genuinely feel bad about causing their friend pain. A narcissist, however, might feel bad because the friend's hurt feelings led to them losing access to something they valued: the friend's admiration, support, or resources. The emotional response might look similar on the surface, but the underlying motivation is fundamentally different. This brings us to one of the most misunderstood aspects of narcissistic remorse: its situational nature. Many people mistakenly believe that narcissists never feel remorse at all, but that's an oversimplification. They can and do experience something akin to remorse, but it tends to appear only in specific situations, particularly when they're faced with significant personal losses or consequences. For instance, a narcissist might show what appears to be deep remorse when their actions lead to a divorce that damages their social standing or financial situation. They might apologize profusely and seem genuinely distressed. However, their distress typically centers around their own losses, their reputation, their comfort, their status, rather than the emotional damage they've caused their former spouse. The complexity deepens when we consider the role of cognitive empathy versus emotional empathy. Research has shown that many narcissists possess excellent cognitive empathy. They can intellectually understand others' emotions and often use this understanding to their advantage. What they typically lack is emotional empathy, the ability to truly feel and connect with others' emotional experiences. This distinction helps explain why narcissists can sometimes appear to show remorse in incredibly convincing ways. They understand intellectually what remorse should look like and can perform it when necessary, but the genuine emotional connection that underlies true remorse is often missing. But here's where things get really interesting. Narcissistic personality disorder exists on a spectrum, and not all individuals with narcissistic traits experience remorse in exactly the same way. Some may have more capacity for genuine remorse than others, particularly in certain relationships or contexts. This spectrum nature of NPD is crucial for understanding both the disorder and its potential for treatment. Speaking of treatment, this brings us to a critical question. Can narcissists develop a greater capacity for genuine remorse? The answer is cautiously optimistic but complex. Through dedicated therapeutic work, some individuals with narcissistic traits can develop greater emotional awareness and empathy. However, this process requires both tremendous effort and a genuine desire to change, something that many narcissists struggle with due to the very nature of their disorder. The therapeutic approach to developing genuine remorse in narcissistic individuals typically involves several key components. First, there's the challenging work of developing emotional awareness, helping them recognize and name their own authentic emotions beneath the layers of defensiveness and grandiosity. Then comes the even more challenging task of developing emotional empathy, often through carefully structured exercises and therapeutic relationships. However, it's important to note that this process isn't about teaching narcissists to perform remorse better. It's about helping them develop the underlying emotional capacity that makes genuine remorse possible. This distinction is crucial for both therapeutic success and authentic personal growth. Understanding how narcissists experience remorse has profound implications for both clinical treatment and personal relationships. For mental health professionals, it helps inform more effective therapeutic approaches. For individuals in relationships with narcissists, it provides crucial insight into the emotional landscape they're dealing with. So, do narcissists feel remorse? The answer is both yes and no. They experience something that resembles remorse, but it's fundamentally different from the emotion most people know. Their version of remorse is self-focused rather than other-focused, situational rather than consistent, and often lacks the emotional depth that makes genuine remorse such a powerful force for personal growth and relationship healing. Understanding this complex reality helps us approach narcissistic personality disorder with greater nuance and compassion, while maintaining realistic expectations about the capacity for emotional connection and genuine remorse in individuals with strong narcissistic traits. Remember, human psychology is rarely black and white. By understanding the complex ways that narcissists experience emotions like remorse, we can better navigate relationships, support healing, and promote genuine emotional growth, even in cases where it might seem impossible at first glance. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care of yourself.